And so underneath the big metal wave here at Seaton on the morning of day 9, and it's very early, it's not even 7 o'clock, because over there's a bus stop and I'm going to be getting the 0710 off to Lyme Regis. And yeah, we're going to be going all along the Jurassic coast through Lyme Bay and through to Weymouth today, with a couple of stops and a bit of walking, because the weather is warm but not hot, so should be able to get a bit of walking on the old southwest coast path as well as a bit of bus riding. So join me and we'll see how this one goes. Oh, and 2 little bits of housekeeping. One, there's a bakery just up there and I think it's open, so might be able to just grab something, because I did rush out of the house without having any breakfast. And on the subject of rushing out of the house, I forgot to bring my hat, so you're going to see some scruffy hair all day. I don't know. Anyway, let's go and see if that bakery's open. He wasn't open for half an hour, but he ran out the back and he got me a nice warm croissant. So, job's a good one. Here we go, bus number 378 should be here at 0710. Here's hoping. Now, the first issue of the day comes along quite quick. I've misread the timetable. There isn't going to be a bus. So I'm faced with a choice. Wait a very long time for the next bus, or walk to Lyme Regis. Well, in fact, it's a lovely day for walking, as you can see, it's overcast at the moment, and yeah, it's still warm enough to wear a t-shirt at 7 in the morning, so let's not complain. Seaton is deceptive because it looks like the beach stretches on, but in fact, ahead is the River Axe, so we will not be heading out along the beach. And there we go. I have to turn left right here. As our path takes us over the River Axe at Axmouth Harbour, let's pause here just for a minute. The coast path leads here up a steep drive to the local golf club. And then, when we're past the clubhouse, we're onto the fairways looking for the next coast path sign. These lads have got the right idea. Well, we'll leave him to putt from there. Looks like we're on a proper path from here on in. Well, this is an ominous sign. 3.5 to 4 hours of arduous walking. Well, let's hope we can beat that estimate. I've inadvertently become a beater this morning. There seems quite a lot of pheasants about. There he goes. Well, the nettle sting count is currently lower right leg and my left forearm. Oh, we might get a view at the top. Maybe just a glimpse of the sea before we dive back into the undergrowth. Here we are. That's better, isn't it? Oh, look, there's a bench. I'm an hour in, and judging from Google Maps, I'd say I've managed maybe about a third of the walk. I've also had a chocolate bar and a drink, so let's keep going. Well, this is very pretty, but very steep. Yes, it's the going down that's really tough, as you really must watch every step. And at 8:30 in the morning, my watch tells me that I've already done 10,000 steps. Trust me, I think the path goes down there. Because it's quite overgrown as we walk along, I must say I've been struck just how much work must be involved by the authorities around the whole southwest coast path, just keeping the path open on a day-to-day basis. A view, I think there's a view. What we're coming upon now is Roosden Pumping Station. The building used to house a steam-powered pump that lifted water into a reservoir from a nearby spring. It was here to serve the estate at the top of the cliffs, although there's not much left of it now. Beyond the pumping station, the path leaves this easy roadway and we're back on the climb again. Considering this is August, the path remains very damp and very slippery. And of course there are many, many steps to climb. It's been a long climb already and it's still going up, so I'm taking it slow just to conserve energy and keep safe. Oh look, more steps. Ow, I've just been stung by a nettle on my knee. I didn't think there was anywhere left on my legs to be stung. Well, isn't that just great? Right, let's keep left. It's so shady along here that the moisture gets retained on the path. Can you imagine what it would be like in bad weather? There's the sound of a strimmer ahead. Maybe it's somebody clearing the path. Now that looks to be very hard work on such a warm day. Right, there should be a few less nettles on this route to Lyme now. Well, this feels less like a way hacked through the trees now and more like a path where people walk their dogs. So the man with the strimmer got his Land Rover down this far. And there she goes, a proper Southwest Path walker with a rucksack, tent, the whole 9 yards. So I hope she makes it round to Land's End or wherever she's going. Good luck to her. Oh look, another hill. Hooray. Hopefully now with this wide path we can stride out for Lyme. Maybe get there in half an hour, something like that. Let's see. So it's 10 o'clock. I could have watched the waves coming in and out at Seaton, had a nice coffee, maybe a full English breakfast, and then hopped on the bus. But instead, here we are, in the woods, covered in sweat. Yeah, so my original plan was to get off that 7 o'clock bus at Ware Lane and then walk down to this junction and there's the final bit into Lyme Regis. Well, the sign here says just 1 more mile to go, so that means just around here we will pass into our final county of Dorset. I decide on a slightly easier approach to Lyme via the car park. There we go, Lyme Regis Harbour, with the famous seawall known as the Cob. If I keep moving, I think there's an X51 that I can catch when I get into town. It's due out at about 10:45, I think. My plan is to get a bus to West Bay and then we can have a look around there too. Ooh, there it is right now. Right, well the driver of the X51 said he wasn't going to West Bay, which was true, so I kind of didn't get on. And then afterwards I thought, oh you idiot, I can change buses at Bridport and I could have got to West Bay. And now I'm here for another hour, otherwise I could have got to West Bay. So the plan was that I would have an hour in West Bay and show you West Bay, but I think that might actually not happen now because we don't have time. So I've got an hour here at Lyme Regis instead, so I'm going to go and get a second breakfast or a brunch or something and then take it from there. So annoyed with myself not getting on that bus. Still, I award myself a fried egg butty for being an idiot. And I'm finally on what should be the only bus to feature in this very unsatisfactory bit of southwest coast busing. I'm going to take this one through to Weymouth, where I'll have a fairly short turnaround in order to get back to Lyme to catch one of the very few buses back to Seaton in order to reclaim my car. I think I've learned to be quite a switched-on bus rider during this challenge, but today I've been rubbish, making daft mistakes all along the way. Anyway, we're finally off on the 40th bus of the challenge, and it's a busy one full of families on holiday. So let's have a look at the map. We go to Bridport, then West Bay, then along the coast through Abbotsbury and on into Weymouth. And as we get out past Lyme Regis Park and Ride, the bus will start to drop into Charmouth. And of course we have to immediately squeeze past a lorry in the narrow streets. The bus now climbs out of Charmouth so we can join the busy A35 trunk road for the run into Bridport. The A35 is completely rammed with holiday and other traffic. So we come to a stand and then we all wait and wait. And our bus is now very late and getting later. Eventually we get going along the coast, looking across to I think what is Thorncombe Beacon. Now the area around Bridport was known for growing flax and hemp, and therefore throughout the Middle Ages Bridport was known for the production of rope and nets. Nowadays it's a pretty market town and it's certainly less frantic than Lyme Regis. And after Bridport it's just a short run down the valley of the River Brit to West Bay. West Bay actually owes its name to the railways. Prior to 1884, the harbour here was known as, not surprisingly, Bridport Harbour, and from here all those ropes and nets were shipped out. However, when the railway came in 1884, the Great Western named their station West Bay, purely so as to brand the location as a holiday resort. And judging by all the people here, I think the Great Western was right. The bus heads out of town on Station Road before joining the Burton Road to Burton Bradstock. And from up on the road we get a really good view of the vast freshwater beach holiday park. And at Burton Bradstock we cross the River Bride to continue our way eastwards. The road now sweeps up and away from the sea, but we're still in for some great views looking out onto the English Channel. Finally we crest the hill and get a tantalising glimpse of Chesil Beach below us, with the waters of Fleet behind it. Chesil Beach is an 18-mile long ridge of shingle and pebbles, sometimes as much as 15 metres high and 200 metres wide. As we approach Abbotsbury, the box on the hill is actually St Catherine's Chapel. I've been watching the clock and also looking at the positions of the buses on the bus times map with increasing concern. And so I decide it's time to get off at Abbotsbury. So I made it to Abbotsbury, and if we go on to Weymouth, then that bus is so late that I'm really worried that in fact I might miss a return bus that will get me eventually back to Seaton to pick up my car. So we're going to call it a day here at Abbotsbury, and then I'm going to make my way back to Seaton, and I'll catch up with you in Weymouth for day 10. So whilst this did not go to plan at all, I hope you did enjoy at least some of day 9. As I managed to pick up the open-top bus back to Lyme Regis, I'll leave you with a few more views of this lovely Dorset coastline. And as Johnny said, I'll see you back at Weymouth for the final day 10 of South West Coast Bus.